What is up, guys, and welcome back to the episode of F122, my team career mode, episode number 68 for the Spanish Grand Prix then in Season 1. If you guys did miss the previous episode at the Miami Grand Prix, definitely be sure to check that one out before you see this one. It was a bit of a boring episode, I'm not going to, but still a decent episode as we got to learn more about the car, just where the weaknesses are. We did finish, though, a very lowly P18 there, as we fell foul to the Aston Martin Lance Stroll just at the end there. But anyways, coming into the Spanish Grand Prix, then we do have some things we need to do, upgrades and also facilities as well. Doing some activities in the activity timeline there, looking to try and gain the most out of every single activity we do. And in terms of facility upgrades, just looking through all of them, we do have quite a bit of money. We spent $2.57 million, luckily, after saving up a bit of money from the past couple races. And I was looking through all the upgrades here, just trying to see which one would be the most effective one for us. So we're going to purchase a fabrication upgrade then for the aerodynamics, which will be super helpful for us because we need those aerodynamic upgrades as quickly as you can. We are falling behind a bit in the aerodynamics, and we do get that beam wing upgrade that was supposed to come in last episode, but obviously it failed. So in this episode, it does come in, and that will put us with more upgrades then on the aerodynamic side. And now we're going to go ahead and purchase a minor tire upgrade then for the chassis. That'll come in time then for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, missing out on Monaco just by a little bit, though, unfortunately, which would have been a bit of a help for us because Monaco, I mean, I guess it's not really that much of a tire degradation circuit, but the tires can wear out pretty quickly. But anyways, looking through all the upgrades, nothing much we can really do at the moment, just trying to save them at the moment. And now we get the spark plugs and the aerodynamics upgrade, fabrication, spec 1 upgrade in there as well, which now means we can do 2 upgrades at the same time. Looking through to see which one we can do, we're going to purchase the Venturi tunnels first because that has the biggest discount, and you can see that we got a spark plug upgrade there as well. We'll see if we can wait for the stators because the stators, sorry, my fault, I don't know how to say it, I'm sorry. Anyways, we're going to wait for that just in case we get an upgrade there or a discount there. That way we can spend less amount of resource points then. Looking around there just one more time just to make sure we're not missing any upgrades. I do want to get the streamlined suspension arms. Thanks to Miami, we learned our car is very draggy, very slow. So with a bunch of drag reduction upgrades, we should be able to sort of counter that slow straight line speed we have. Looking through the messages one more time, and now we can advance to May 19th, sorry, for the Pirelli Hot Lap here, and we are going to choose Autocross. Autocross is just what we did last time, going through all the gates as quick as we can. This time driving the Aston Martin Vantage F1 edition here as we go green, green, green here. Got to get through all these checkpoints as quick as we can. 68 checkpoints to try hit in 92 seconds or a minute and 32 here. This first section being a bit tight here as we're going to have to try and file our way through these very tight gates here. Some of these gates are spread out pretty well though, luckily, so that way we can floor the gas and hopefully make up some time. But this section here, it's going to be a little tricky here. I'm coming through this section here, very tight to manage, almost missing that one and missing this one here. Lucky managing to keep it through here. And last time though, in Miami, when we had that autocross with the McLaren Artura, we did miss out on that goal by only a couple tenths there. So hopefully, with a bit of experience on their belt here, we can hopefully try to get back up and hopefully get that goal. That goal is definitely worth it with the extra $100,000 and 1,000 to claim. Because right now, I mean, maybe in this stage right now, we have to do these Pirelli Hot Laps. Maybe in future stages like Season 3 or Season 4, this may not be, you know, as imperative because we're already so high up with the acclaim and cash. But for now, in the situation we are in, trying to build this car as quick as we can, we're going to need all the acclaim we can get all the cash we receive, and that extra $100,000 could go towards facility upgrades here, as now the gates are getting very tightly packed here, having to really weave our way through and be very precise here. This is going to be very close with the time of 1:32. You're going through this chicane here, riding the curves there. Again, easy to ride the curbs with the supercars. Obviously, you can't murder them like crazy or else you're going to damage your car here, but they are much easier to take than F1 cars, as these are obviously much heavier and more planted to the ground though. As we come, now we're flooring the gas. You can't even get the goal. We're just going to miss out once again there by only a couple tenths there. It is still silver. It's better than nothing, but again, it's still frustrating that we are missing out by not by much here. Just if we found a couple more tenths and maybe taking a bit more confidence through the corners, maybe that would have given us the gold there. As we now see, our time was a 1:32.52. Again, 5 tenths off. Not terrible, but not really great. But let's go to practice. Practice is the same old thing, just going through the practice programs as quickly as you can. We're looking to try to get that energy recovery system here, just as you can see right there, that discount there. Because if we can get that discount, that'll help us to pay less for that and still somehow get it done. I held off for it because I didn't want it to waste too much R&D points We'll try to spread them out as much as we can, especially with that weight reduction and drag reduction as well. We want to try to get those as well, so get through that pretty quickly. Not much time left we have, though, so let's see if we can squeeze something. Can we squeeze this 25% success one in? No, we cannot. I wasn't too surprised at that. But then, let's now head on to FP2. FP2 time, and it is now time to see what we're going to do here. We have to pursue, I think this is the qualifying pace program here. Try to get through these as quickly as we can here. Getting another energy recovery system, which is really helpful for us, because the more discounts we can get, the less R&D we can spend here. As we go through the fuel efficient one and the rear downforce one, hopefully we can get this one as cleanly as we can. And luckily, we managed to get through all this pretty cleanly. That'll give us enough time to do the average tire wear here, and give us a bit more time to do some more practice programs. The more we can do here, the less time we have to spend in FP3 and having to worry about the others. But we're out of time. Let's go to FP3. FP3, then just finishing up this tire management program, getting the energy recovery system here done and dusted. We haven't got any single failures yet, so hopefully I don't jinx that. And can we get this last one in? I don't care about the turbo durability too much, but we get that one in. And for the first time, I think, for the series, we have actually managed to sweep this and actually get this done as quick as we can. But that was actually pretty smooth there. I will be happy with that, and hopefully that is a good omen then for what's to come. But anyways, now we get our discounts and our resource points, and hopefully with these discounts we can hopefully purchase another upgrade. I think with the discounts that we received there, as you can now see, we get 825 more resource points, pushing us up to 1782. We should be able to purchase that energy recovery system upgrade, which is going to be crucial because remember, the ERS burns pretty quickly in this My Team car, so getting that done as quickly as you can will be crucial for us, because that'll give us more energy to use on main straights, and hopefully more energy to try and defend from our opponents. And straight away, we are going to purchase that Stator Upgrade then with a 21% discount, I think I saw there. And looking through the upgrades again, just trying to see what we can buy here. I think we're going to purchase a front downforce upgrade. It has no discount though, but it's 7 resource points, and that will be helpful to balance out the front and rear downforce. But now, let's go to qualifying. Alrighty then, here we are for qualifying for the Spanish Grand Prix. I forgot to mention that it is actually a rainy qualifying session. Sunday will be fully dry though, so we're going to have to load up the dry setup here. But this is going to be interesting to see how our car performs, not only on one lap pace around the circuit, but also how it performs in the rain. This will be our first chance to see how our car performs, so let's hope that nothing goes horribly. As we go on to our first lap, then here in the rain, time to take this car out and angle around this wet Circuit de Barcelona Caluda. Taking it easy to the first couple of courses, just try to suss out where the grip is here, as again, we have no running in the wet, let alone on this track and in the entire series. So it's going to be interesting just to see how the car performs, taking it nice and easy through the corners here. We don't want to absolutely bottle our lap here, because we can sort of build the confidence as each lap goes on. We have fueled up our car for multiple runs here, so we can do multiple successive runs. Then we can sort of, you know, get to know the track more in the wet, so we can find the right lines and, you know, where we can pick up the power more easily. And 2, just try to see how our car performs. So maybe in future episodes with maybe wet qualifying or wet races, we know what to do next. So anyways, coming into the heart of Sector 3 then, the new and improved Sector 3 from last year, as well as with the more flowing left-hander here, which leads now to this right-hander, much more flowing and much more satisfying as well. Coming into the final section here, just trying to keep the car on the track here, trying not to throw it away in these final couple corners, taking it nice and easy through here, staying in the higher keys just so we don't get too much wheel spin as we come out of the last corner. Then it's not going to be any impressive lap here, but we're going to go again then for a second run here across the line. It's going to give us a 30.1 here. It's going to put us only ahead of Nicholas, behind the Williams and the Aston Martin there. As we come now into turn 1 then, trying to set a second lap here. We're a little farther down on the delta, but we hopefully should make up the time though. As we come though out of the second corner, we get a massive snap of oversteer though, as we try to correct it, and now we got to get back on course. We get another snap of oversteer, drifting our way through turn 3 there, just about holding onto the car and not bending it around. We are way down on that delta, but let's see if we can push on again, because there was a lot of time I could find at building the confidence slowly in this car. That was a very shaky moment though for us as we come into the left-hander here, but at this point I decided to just bail on the lap. It was no point. Let's just go back to the garage, get some new tires, and we'll go once again. But actually, we managed to stay out here. We actually decided not to go back to the garage because we already have these tires. We might as well just go around and go again here. As we go into the first corner, then Mark giving us the update on the weather there. About 10 more minutes of light rain, so light rain is definitely going to stay with us in this first part of qualifying here. So if we can get out of qualifying 1 and hopefully get into Q2 here, this would be a massive booster because we are much better in the dry than in the wet, obviously. So hopefully there we can build the confidence and sort of push that momentum into Sunday's race. But anyways, then out of the first sector here, we're down on our delta quite a bit here. But you can see we're slowly going to make up time here as just to build the confidence here and know where to put the power down, getting the power down much better there. And coming into this left right-handed here, pretty tricky chicane here, getting on the power better there and getting some more time than on our delta, down to just only 2/10 above. Coming to this right-handed here, probably going to take it a little better as we go way too cautious in that right-hander. I think this is not going to be a personal best. Though coming into the left-hander here, finding a bit more time here, only just 1/10 away there. And as you can see here, the delta is going down a little bit and is going in our direction here. Now it's finally green as you come into the heart of second three. Just trying to keep this as simple as possible. Try not to ruin the lap here and just keep the car on the track here. Almost losing the back end there. Nearly get a massive snap of oversteer. That's going to ruin our delta here. But luckily, again, we have enough fuel to go again for one more run around this circuit to possible to kind of limit. It is actually a slight improvement there by only about, I'd say, like a 100th or so. But anyways, enough said. Let's go on for a real lap here. Let's see if we can string together a lap for the first time here. Down to the chicane. Much better run through here. Don't take those inside sausage curves there, as those were added into this game here. Now finding a lot more confidence with this right-handed here. Almost losing the back end. They're getting a little loosey-goosey there as rear end just at that. Managed to counter that though pretty smoothly here. Now coming out of this left right-handed here, Vettel goes P20 there as we were just in P21 as Mark there just confirms in the background here. As we come out of the left-handed here, getting on the power though. A little snap of oversteer there. Our battery's running a bit low though, so we have to watch out for that. But luckily in the rain, you don't use as much battery deployment as you would in the dry. So hopefully, you know, that can sort of counteract as we come through the right-hander here. Taking again a little caution. You don't want to absolutely throw it into the gravel trap there, as we have to pause there just to listen to that radio message. I've never heard of that radio message. We are slower than Teo Pourchaire. So that's interesting just to know, because I'm not sure actually where Teo Pourchaire is, but I assume that he's well up there, maybe in the top 15, top 14 there. So that's a good sign just to know where we are for this qualifying session. We want to be our teammate, obviously, and having that knowledge in the back of my mind, just knowing that I'm lapping slower than him, means that there's much more time to find here. Anyways, coming out of the last corner here, getting a heap ton of time here as we go across the line. Where's he going to put us? Only puts us P20. Wow. But we are now onto the final lap here. Let's see if we can make any sort of improvement here on this last lap. Then as we come down the main straight then towards the first corner, we are sitting in P20 here. So we're going to make up a lot of time here as the track slowly starts to dry out. Coming into the first set of corners here, taking a better run through there. Riding those sausage curves a little too much though for my liking there. And it loses a bit of time there on the exit though, getting a nice run through here. Trying to get on the powers early here. We don't want to snap the car around though. We go a little wide there. Our delta does go green though, which is good because that means the more we can of a drop we can get, the higher of a chance we can get into Q2. I mean, common sense there, to be honest. But hey, you never know. Anyways, back to this qualifying lap here, getting a snap of oversteer as we get on the power there. Pretty normal snap of oversteer. I was expecting that though, at least. So I mean, didn't catch me out by surprise. I mean, it really can't catch me up by any surprise if we get oversteer in the wet here. It's very easy to do so. Taking a lot more speed through there. Going a little wide though. I'm not sure if the car may suffer a bit of underbody damage from riding over that curb pretty harshly, I'm going to say. It's now qualifying is complete then for Q1. Let's see if this improvement is enough to get us out of Q1 though. It doesn't look too promising at first at the moment, because I don't think we'll be in a good position here as we come through the right-hander here and into the final chicane here. We're only gaining, I'd say, 4 or 5 tenths. That does not seem like enough to get us out of Q1 as we are dropped to dead last there. Let's see if this lap time is going to make any difference. Here we go across the line. Where is this going to put us then for tomorrow's grid as we wait for the screen? Only puts us P19. It's not dead last, but at the same time, we are still far away then from P16. That position would have put us then into Q2. As we look then on the timing screens, this Charles Leclerc has the fastest time in this first session. Teo Pourchaire makes it into Q2 though, but we are quite some way out. Pierre Gasly, though, has a 5-place grid penalty, so that should be interesting to see where he lines up for tomorrow. But anyways, that's enough for qualifying. We got a lot of work to do in the race, so let's get on with it.
Welcome along then to what promises to be another fascinating Spanish Grand Prix. It's a race which saw Max Verstappen take victory on his first ever appearance with the Red Bull team in 2016, after that dramatic coming together of Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg. Will we see more moments for the scrapbook here today? It's a sellout crowd of 140,000 here today as we await lights out for the 730-metre sprint down into Turn 1. This is a 2.9-mile racetrack. Overtaking is challenging through the 16 corners, but there's still a lot of high-speed excitement to be found, including the flat-out Turn 3 and the terrifying blind right of Turn 9. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. A fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday, and it's put him on pole. And Max Verstappen lines up alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Sainz, Russell, and Sir Lewis Hamilton, and Perez, Bottas, Fernando Alonso, Magnussen, and Esteban Ocon, Norris, Joe, Yuki Tsunoda, and Teo Pourchaire, Vettel, Mick Schumacher, Pierre Gasly, and Gallagher, Latifi, Albon, Ricciardo. They've taken a grid penalty, and Lance Stroll brings the grid to a close. With preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track. And joining me again for the race today, Natalie Pinkham. Let's start with Alfa Romeo. What do you make of their performance so far this season?
Well, the atmosphere within the team seems very positive at the moment. Everyone seems like they're in great spirits and having a lot of fun doing what they do. And that has definitely contributed to the performances we've seen.
Well, here we are then for Sunday's race around the Circuit de Barcelona Canyon. This is going to be interesting to see how our car does around here. I'm really excited to see if we can score some points here. But anyways, we got a lot of work to do here from P18 on the grid. In terms of strategy, then it's going to be a one-stop race. No rain expected for this race. So that is one thing thrown out of the spanner here. So that's good for us. And hopefully, with the pace that we have, hopefully we can score some good points. We are considered one of the better teams in the midfield, albeit still not a great team. But hey, with a car like ours, we can definitely score some points here as we now come towards our grid slot here and looking to try and line up perfectly then and trying to get a good launch here, warming up the tires for one last time here just before we enter our grid slot. We don't want the tires to be too cold here off the launch. So as we close the MFD here, crawling towards our grid spot here, trying to get that purple, and we do so successfully then, as Gasly parks up, and the rest of them park up as we get set to 5 red lights here. So let's get on with it. So here we go then to 5 red lights for the Spanish Grand Prix here. Here we go! And it is lights out, and we are green, green, green here in Spain. It's a decent start for us against Pierre Gasly here, as we get a great run then on him as we barrel our way down towards turn 1 here behind the Aston Martin Sebastian Vettel as we now constantine up into turn 1 down the inside of not 1, not 2, but 3 guys, including our teammate Teo Pourchaire, trying to get on his inside, but he closes the door there, and we're going to sail it around the inside here if we can hold it. Yes, we can then. Up into P15 there, sorry, as we try to hold the position going a little wider. Pourchaire is going to have a look at up the inside. We're going to go around the outside, and you can see them trying to make it work, but that does not work. We made a bit of contact there as Pourchaire forces his way up the inside there. My steering wheel got a little loose there as we made some contact, I think, wheel to front wing there. Hopefully Teo Pourchaire doesn't have any damage, but we managed to get out there unscathed here. Meanwhile, Vettel and Pourchaire scrapping behind. Who's going to come out top? I think Pourchaire is just about going to stay in P16 there. We managed to have a decent start there. Let's see if we can move up further in the field there as we chase after the other AlphaTauri, the big Tsunoda. But looking on then, we have Pierre Gasly, who's missing his left side end plate, and I think that's going to be enough to call him in for an early pit stop. Yes, it will be, as he now comes into the pits. It's going to be a shame that for the Frenchman with an unscheduled pit stop this early, and that is going to be disastrous for the AlphaTauri team. Looking pretty decent here, although Yuki Tsunoda is stuck behind Lando Norris, so not all hope is lost for Pierre Gasly if there is a safety car, but I highly doubt it, so he could be ruled out of this race right now. Moving on from lap 3 on to lap 4, back to the race action. Nothing much has happened though in the next 2 or 3 laps. But anyways, we have Sebastian Vettel now chasing after our teammate Taylor Pourchaire. We have dropped Taylor Pourchaire by 2 seconds, and we have hung on to the DRS. And if you can notice, as Vettel goes around the outside, so let's see if he can make this move where Pourchaire defends the inside well, but Vettel then does have the inside line there as I go through the long turn 3 here, riding on board with Taylor Pourchaire. Who's going to have the better run through here? Looks like Vettel just has the outside line, but Pourchaire fights him back well. They're holding up Alex Albon and Daniel Ricciardo behind. Who's going to come out on top of this fantastic scrap here? As they're still scrapping away then. But we're going to look back up just to see then as one of the... Oh, it's the Mercedes of Lewis Hamilton. He has DNF there as we look behind just to check on any other battles. But Lewis Hamilton in the Mercedes has DNF'd, and that is going to cause massive issues down at Mercedes, as now that means that we gain a free place and move up into P14 then of the Spanish Grand Prix. But meanwhile then, while that was happening, Sebastian Vettel has now gotten ahead then of Taylor Pourchaire. But let's look at the running order so far. Leclerc ahead of Sainz, then comes Verstappen, and then comes George Russell flying the flag alone for the Mercedes team, as I'll see Hamilton to retire. Then Perez, Alonso, Ocon in the top 7, Bottas runs in 8th. Both Hasses run in 9th and 10th respectively. Zhou Guanyu 11th, Norris 12th, Tsunoda 13th, Warren 14th, Vettel 15th, Pourchaire 16th, Albon 17th, Ricciardo stuck in 18th there, Stroll 19th, Nicholas Latifi 20th, and Pierre Gasly running a very lonely race back there in P21. But anyways, back to this fight here. There's a train forming up with Pourchaire, Albon, Ricciardo getting all involved in this fight here. Albon is trying to move there, but Taylor Pourchaire locks up. That's going to give the opportunity wide open to Alex Albon as Taylor Pourchaire now drops a place, and Alex Albon takes a free position there pretty much as we now head on to lap 6 then of 33 here. We are riding a boat with Daniel Ricciardo here, who is, I think, got up the inside there of Taylor Pourchaire. Unfortunately, so that means he has now lost another place there. So Taylor Pourchaire really struggling on those tires, so let's hope that he can find his momentum soon. Meanwhile, back to our POV here, we are still just barely hanging on to the DRS there, but looking up ahead on the road, we got Zhou Guanyu going in deep though into the first car. That's getting the door wide open to Lando Norris, as I think he's locked up there, and now we are right back in this fight with these 3 guys here. As meanwhile behind, we have Taylor Pourchaire fighting off Lance Stroll. Can he hold up against the Canadian? The Canadian has the outside line, now he has the inside line for this right-hander here. Who's going to have the better momentum through this right-hander? Can Stroll squeeze him out? Yes, he can. And Pourchaire now moves on to P19. This is not looking good for our teammate here. But now Lando Norris is up to P11. Zhou Guanyu's P12. Tsunoda's P13. Can we fight them back and get some more positions? Let's see. Well, nothing much has happened though, unfortunately, as we move on to lap 9. Though we are watching though Max Verstappen chasing after Carlos Sainz. Charles Leclerc has walked away with this Grand Prix here. He is 3.4 seconds ahead then of the rest of the pack here. So Leclerc dominating this race in spectacular fashion, but Verstappen is hungry for more, and he is trying to close down on the Ferrari of Carlos Sainz. You're getting a nice view there on his interior. Anyways, looking up ahead, is Leclerc going to make a pit stop here? I'm not surprised if he's going to do such a thing. He is though running on the soft compounded tires. So, I mean, it's really a question of where he's going to come in now. Is he going to come in now? Yes or no? No, you said no. Actually, he's coming in then for a pit stop here. So 9 laps on the soft tires is enough for him. Sainz stays out. Verstappen stays out. Will Russell follow them as well? Yes, Russell will stay out as well. Perez, I think, stays out as well. But what about Alonso? Alonso stays out as well. Ocon stays out. Bottas stays out. What about K-Mac? Will K-Mac come into the pits? No, he won't. But his teammate Mick Schumacher will. As now we see the soft tire runners coming into the pits. So this is interesting because now we have a variety of strategies here. Who is going to come out where is going to be crucial as we see Leclerc coming out and the others making their pit stops and just watching us there as we make our way then down the main straight here to start lap 10. And the leaders have to be coming in soon to try to react this. But look at this. Verstappen has absolutely hounding Sainz here, as I think Sainz's soft tires has started to drop off a little bit. I think Sainz will be pulling to the pits. Yes, he will. Verstappen now takes the lead then of the Spanish Grand Prix. George Russell, I think, also stays out as well. Sergio Perez stays out with Fernando Alonso as well. And the 2 Alpines continue on there for a couple months. There goes Bottas there. Will K-Mac follow suit as well? I don't think so, because he's running then on the medium compounded tires. All these guys are running on the medium compounded tires, so I'm pretty sure they will be going out longer. But let's see where Sainz comes out in relative to his teammate. I think his teammate is coming down the mission. Yeah, there he is, just in the background. He will come up behind his teammate by, I think, a bit of a margin here, and he'll be stuck behind his old fellow teammate, Lando Norris. And Leclerc is already starting to get a little feisty here, as he's already on the back then of Kevin Magnussen, riding on board with him as he goes through the long right-hander turn 3. Leclerc has got his hard tires fired up, and his hard tires are fresher than the likes of Kevin Magnussen as we now switch off towards the TV cams. Leclerc then has the inside line through. Can he hold it through for Magnussen? Does well to defend around the outside. This is a great scrap between the two drivers here. Can Leclerc forcefully around the outside? Yes, he can, and he now moves up into P7, and he can now chase after the Alfa Romeo of Valtteri Bottas. On lap 14 here, who is going to make pit stops? We still have the leaders out though, but look who's going to come in. Valtteri Bottas is coming on lap 14 on towards lap 15 here. This is going to be an interesting call by the Alfa Romeo team here, and let's see if this will work out. Is anyone else going to follow them into the pits? Leclerc has already pitted. Magnussen stays out though. Norris stays out. Carlos Sainz has already made his pit stop as well. And meanwhile, for us though, we are going to come into the pits as well. As you can hear Mark talking, apparently some underbody damage we may have suffered there from riding over the curbs there. Just trying to take it easy. You don't want to lose too much time here and get a penalty here. But anyways, we're going to be coming into the pits then lap 14 on towards lap 15. You're going to take off these medium tires and now put on the hard tires. We weren't looking too good on the medium tires. Let's see if this works. Highly doubt the undercut is going to work here. The undercut is much less powerful now in this game, just because the hard tire is so hard to warm up in this game here. So I don't think we'll be undercutting the likes of Zhou Guanyu and Yuki Tsunoda. But we got to get these tires up to temperature, and we'll just see where they come out relative when we start to come out on the next lap. And now this is the crucial point. Who is going to do what here as Verstappen comes into the pits and he finally makes his pit stop then. Will George Russell follow him into the pits? No, he stays out for yet another lap, so he's attempting the overcut. Perez has to stay out. What about Fernando Alonso in the Alpine? Will he bolt into the pits? I think he will. Yes, he will. Ocon stays out as his teammate comes in. Obviously has priority. Will Leclerc make a note? Leclerc has already pitted. For Magnussen, yes, he comes in for his pit stop. Lando Norris, I think, has already pitted, or maybe he's coming in. No, he's coming in. Never mind. He's coming in as well. Zhou Guanyu should be coming in as well. Yuki Tsunoda, same thing as well. Will both of them come in? Yes, I think so. Definitely Zhou Guanyu, as you can clearly see here. What about Yuki Tsunoda? Will he follow him into the... Yes, he will as well. So these are the guys we have to watch out for in relative where we're coming out then on this lap then. But Vettel continues and Bottas continues. Actually, Bottas pitted on the same lap as. What am I saying? But if Vettel stays out then for another lap as Lance Stroll comes into the pit. So that's interesting tactics by the Aston Martin team. Our teammate comes in. Nicholas Latifi comes in. As you can see here, where are these two guys going to come out in relation to us there? And look at that. Yuki Tsunoda has actually jumped Zhou Guanyu in the pits. So great job from the AlphaTauri team to pull out all the stops there. There is us there as now come out of the pit lane there. Still quite a far way behind. As you can see, Daniel Ricciardo and Alex Albon having a scrap of their own there. As I think both of them have pitted. Yeah, both of them are on the hard compounded tires, so both of them have pitted there off camera. But a great move then by the Honey Badgers to get himself up into P16 and in prime striking position to fight us if he can pick up the pace there. But it was 4 seconds behind Zhou Guanyu, so roughly about the same, I would say, in terms of, you know, where we started before the pits. As anyways, now George Russell finally makes his pit stop. Then comes Esteban Ocon as well. Perez comes in as well. So these three have tried the overcut, as now Leclerc will re-inherit the lead then of the Spanish Grand Prix. Then, as you can see here, Sebastian Vettel, where is he going to come out as well? He's stayed an extra 2 laps then on those medium compounded tires. He's been caught though by Valtteri Bottas, so this will be a great time to come into this. As you can see, he's now making his way into the pit lane here, 60 miles an hour. I think, no, actually 50 miles an hour, as he, I think, had a big lockup there as both tires locked up. Anyways, here is us here, coming into the middle, final sector here. There's Daniel Ricciardo, Alex Albon, Lance Stroll, our teammate. But anyways, let's look at Sebastian Vettel. He's had a problem there in the pits. We just managed to catch it. There's a problem on the rear left there. Let's see where that's going to put him as Yuki Tsunoda and Zhou Guanyu come out of the pit lane. Where are we, though? Where are we in relation to Sebastian Vettel? We're going to come out here side by side into the first corner. Who's going to be laid on the brakes? We just about hold on to that position. So that pit stop error really cost Sebastian Vettel. If he didn't have that pit stop error, he would have been ahead of us. So we got very lucky there. So now we got to press on and build a gap while Vettel is still trying to warm up his hard tires. But we're going to skip all the way to lap 27 as there has been literally no action in the Spanish Grand Prix though. Although if you do look at the top left, Verstappen has got ahead of Carlos Sainz as Vettel locked up there. As I was talking about that, Ricciardo swipes through easily then as Vettel, I think, is struggling now on those hard compound tires. But yeah, Verstappen has jumped Sainz them in the pit lane, I think a couple laps ago though. So thanks to that overcut he's had. But looking behind, Perez, he's had an absolute mare. Look at him, he is down in P8 there. As I think he was running P5 before the pit stop. So he must have really gotten caught up by these guys here as Alonso, Ocon, and Bottas are all fighting out then for this 5th place. This is a 4-way fight then for 5th place. But they're all stuck in a DRS train here as Alonso is trying to make amends here on his teammate in his home race here, riding on both Valtteri Bottas. Now back then with Sergio Perez. Is he close enough? No, he is not close enough. He's going to have to stick behind them for a couple more laps. But this is interesting because the Red Bull, I mean, he clearly must have messed up in the pit lane, or maybe it was a pit stop error or something. But anyways, it is going to be a tough job for him to try and get past these three guys. These three guys have been very consistent in the top 7 spots here, as the Alpines, again, very quick car, and the Alfa Romeo driven by Valtteri Bottas is very, very good. Zhou Guanyu, he's had flashes of pace here and there in his career mode so far, but not really too much to show compared to his veteran teammate. I mean, we got to cut him some slack. This is his rookie year. Doesn't have too much experience in the sport here. But anyways, we are still watching Sergio Perez. Let's see if he can make a move then on Valtteri Bottas. He is closer to Valtteri Bottas than Bottas is to the likes of the Alpine here, as we now come towards the left-hander here and the start of second 3. Nope, still too far behind. And I think both are just going to start biding their time here and seeing if their patience pays off. Anyways, looking back up, we got Alonso hounding Esteban Ocon here. Luckily, these cars are able to run so much closer, and Spain is a great test of that. And I think Spain is living up to this, making Spain, you know, pretty decent with racing. It has been a boring race so far, though. But let's see if Alonso has a decent run on his team Esteban Ocon here. I think, sorry, Alonso might not have the greatest run, but look at Bottas and Perez going side by side down the midstream. Perez powers his way past the Alfa Romeo, and he now moves up into P7, and now he's free to go chase after the Alpines. Bottas gives him a little fight there as we now go through turn 2 and turn 3, but Perez will eventually have the inside line, and he will steal P7 there. Good effort from the Mexican. But literally nothing has happened. Nothing has happened between that. Then we have stayed in P14. We haven't really closed the gap then to Zhou Guanyu. Ricardo hasn't really made any amends on us, as Charles Leclerc then wins the Spanish Grand Prix here. But we are going to continue riding on board with us then as we now come to this long right-handed curve. It has been a real struggle for us, as we just have really not had any pace there, as Sainz sets the fastest lap, and I think that will steal that extra championship point then from Charles Leclerc. Anyways, coming through this left-hand here, we're trying to get a quicker lap here and try to get that rival point against Daniel Ricciardo. We are going to beat him on paper here, but let's see if he's going to put in the fast lap compared to us then. Coming through this left right-hander, our fast lap is a 1:22.5. I think we can beat that with a bit of ERS here, and quite a bit of, well, abusing track limits here as it comes into the left-hander here. The funny thing is, Charles Leclerc literally won the Grand Prix couple corners into my final lap here. So if we were any slower, he could have lapped us and he could have saved us an entire lap of torch here, as we now come into the hardest sector 3, the final part in the sector 3, and the final corners here of the Spanish Grand Prix. It has been a painful one for us, unfortunately, as we have not had the pace to catch up to the front runners and try and score any points here. But it is a better result for us. P14, though, it could be a lot worse if we have to start at P18. Across the line, take P14. Pretty disappointing result from us. So let's hope the next result is better at Monaco. But it's a decent result for us, though I will not complain. It's still a great day for us, as Mick Schumacher now takes driver of the day. Good job from him, and a decent job from our team today.
Well, what a drive that was to take the win for Ferrari today. Natalie Pinkham, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
I really feel the track layout, combined with the track temperatures we saw today, suited their car. These cars come alive when the tyres are just at the right temperature, and the driver did a great job managing that as well. It just looks so comfortable out there. It's like anything, it always looks so easy when it all just clicks.
Here come our winners now, a thrilling race and a tremendous effort by Ferrari. Their history is well known, so it's no surprise to fans the world over to see them come out on top once again.
So, congratulations then to Charles Leclerc for winning yet another race here in this F122 My Team Career Mode. He has dominated this season so far, at least in my save. I don't know about you guys. Maybe Leclerc is struggling, maybe Verstappen is absolutely running away with it. But anyways, I don't think my screen is liking too much that Leclerc is dominating this, as it's just flashing like crazy. But good job for them from Charles Leclerc and the Scuderia Ferrari team. Then on an absolute roll, Verstappen finishes runner-up after starting actually P3 there, and actually just, you know, staying stuck behind Carlos Sainz. But anyways, let's see how this looks out so far. We did finish 14th there, and Pocher was a terrible 21st. I think he just struggled a lot then
Mick
in
Schumacher
this race.
gets
Though.
my vote.
So
Let's move on
we have
to
a
the
lot of homework to do then for
constructors. The lead at the top comes
Monaco
down
there.
after a
With
strong
Monaco,
weekend
if we can have a
for the
great
challenging
qualifying and
pack.
put ourselves in the top 10, then
Meanwhile,
we can
good
park
work
the
from
cars
Aston Martin
and
this
the bus
weekend, who
there.
pushed
But
themselves
anyways,
further up
Spain
the
was a
order.
decent result for us.
Well,
I
that was
actually like
certainly an
driving around the
exciting
circuit
weekend
and
of
the
Formula
new
One.
layout
Be sure
of
to join
Sector
us for
3.
more
So it's not
exciting Formula
terrible,
One
but
action.
not great at the same time. But anyways, that is going to be it then for this episode. Thank you all so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy, definitely be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. If you guys would like to see more, comment down below what you would like to see next. And I will see you guys for the next episode in Monaco, the jewel of the Formula 1 calendar. I can't wait to get that started. See you guys.